Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie. If you are new here, I do all kinds of lifestyle videos, motherhood vlogs. I love vlogging in general, but I also share a little bit about our personal finance journey. My husband and I have some student loan debt, and then we also are working on building up our savings account because that just wasn't something we were able to do for most of our marriage based on the income that we had. Today, I'm going to take you through my February budget recap, show you how much we spent, how much we budgeted, where we went over, where we were under, any additional income that we had, and we had some pretty good things happen this month, but we also went over budget in some areas as well. So let's jump into it. It's like super gloomy and freezing today, so sorry the lighting's like a little bit weird. Anyways, let's jump into this video. Okay, here we go. So this is my February my February budget for our family of 3, and we'll go through the income part first. I brought in $107 more than I was anticipating because I got a YouTube payment. I get paid by YouTube currently probably once every 3 or 4 months. I have a very small channel and they don't pay you out until you hit a $100 threshold, so it takes me a little bit. Hopefully someday my channel will be big enough that I'm bringing in closer to a part-time or full-time income, but for right now it's kind of just extra, and I don't really know when it's coming. So I did get about $107 extra that I was anticipating. Ben also made about $386 more than anticipating. He anticipated that was just money he moved over from his fantasy football stuff that he did during football season. He leaves a little bit in the account so that he can use that next year, but then he did move some of his winnings over, and you'll see later too that actually paid for something that he needed to pay for. So I also did move over almost $300 of rollover, which I explained to you guys because the beginning of the month, basically our rent cuts out almost all of Ben's paycheck because our rent is so expensive. So I wanted to pull over a little bit of additional money from January versus putting it in savings, because I was tired of having to move money from savings and then move it back until my freelance stuff kind of trickles in. So that is where that came in. It would have been savings from January, but we needed it this month. And then miscellaneous stuff, $904. Let's see, what all is that? Okay, so most of this is actually money I moved over from my business. So you'll see I moved it over, but then it was taken out. So it didn't really affect our actual income, if that makes sense, but I just keep it all up here. So $40.89 were for my headphones that I bought for editing and for my work. And then also the $556, that was how much our taxes were to pay our accountant. So I moved that from my business savings in order to pay her. So very high payment for taxes, but to be honest, it's not any higher than what we paid the last 2 years, and I didn't particularly love that accountant relationship, if that makes sense. Excited about this new person that we're working with. I actually explained it in one of my recent videos, so I'll link that if you're interested. Looks like I got a $50 gift. I don't remember what that was for. Amazon gift card was some money back for something. We got interest from Ally. If you're not using a high interest savings or checking account, I highly recommend Ally. I got a Rakuten payment, which is this savings plugin that you can add to your Chrome. The money that I made from that was from Black Friday. Something was off by $43.63 and I wasn't really sure what it was, so I added that in. And yeah, so that's basically the additional money that came in, but a lot of it was just random stuff. So technically we brought in $11,478.89. We only paid $2,100 for our rent this month because if you followed along in January, we didn't have water for almost a week because there was some big pipe issues. So he gave us $400 off of our rent for the inconvenience, but also he wouldn't send anybody to clean it either. We had gross stuff kind of come up in our bathroom. So Benjamin had to clean that. I would still like to get a cleaner at some point, but so he did take $400 off our rent, which is nice. I would have preferred a little bit more, but also he paid almost $25,000 to fix the pipe, which is not our fault, but still, you know, I was just grateful that he took some money off of our rent. We did have a renter's insurance payment last month, which we only have 3 times a year. Our disability and life insurance went up 34 cents, which I hadn't budgeted for. A little bit under on a couple of these. Car insurance was a little bit different. Okay, so this is another one. Basically, it was about $60 over budget because for my gym membership, because I paid for a new workout program from Kelly Yeager, and I also had I'm taking this like core workout app for diastasis recti, and I didn't realize that it renewed automatically, so they didn't warn me that it was coming out, so I didn't cancel it in time. But I'm enjoying the program, so it's okay. The rest of these are normal, and then moving on to my business expenses, these were all normal as well. The only thing was my headphones I hadn't budgeted for, but again, you saw that money I brought in from my savings account over to here, and then I went to the coffee shop and I bought Post-its and I bought an app as well. Like in total for fixed expenses, we spent $30,353.67, which was $369 less than we anticipated because our rent was $400 less. Our debt is always the same. We don't currently pay any additional on these. They're all fairly low interest, and right now building our savings is more important to us. These are all of our student loans and then obviously a car loan. So that is all of our loan payments, just under $1,000 a month. Moving on to variable, which is like where all this stuff comes in. Sorry, by the way, if I don't have like a ton of pizzazz today, I'm so tired. I think it's like the weather and like Ivy's not been feeling well this week. So groceries, we were over by $500. Now, I will say we need to like play with this a little bit. One of the things, or there's a couple of things. One, I ordered Green Chef, which is like $80 a box, which I'm no longer doing. So that was additional. And then this Fruitful Yield and Whole Foods, those are both health food stores, so they're much higher priced than a regular store, so that definitely added on to it as well. And then we've also been ordering from Thrive Market, and we've been putting in like a $200 to $250 order for the month of like specialty snacks because I have an egg allergy and I'm not supposed to eat gluten or dairy. Ben doesn't eat dairy, and he's close to vegan. He doesn't really eat meat. So we have like a lot of specificities with our diet, and Thrive Market is really nice for that. But on the same token, it's just like a big chunk of money. So we are continuing to figure this out, this groceries area, also because Ivy is now eating more regular food. She's not really eating as many packets, although she still gets some like baby food packets of formula. She's not getting as much of that. This may change, and it may end up like making our household budget go down, because that's normally where her food stuff is, like her stuff, and make this go up. So we'll see what happens over the next like month or two. We were a little bit under budget at Costco, and then we were over budget by $137 on restaurants and takeout. Most of this was honestly just like ordering food. Nothing crazy, but we still definitely could have done better in this area. If you guys watch, you understand that this is usually the section we get in the most trouble with. Now, medications and supplements was way over budget. Part of it was because we all got sick. And then another part is I ended up having to pay for my thyroid medication twice, which was $80. I had to pay for my low dose naltrexone that I take for my autoimmune disease, which is every 3 months, and that's $90. And then we did a couple of orders of supplements. So it was definitely higher than normal. It's not something that we do monthly by any means. I just wasn't anticipating all of that when I made the budget. We were about $60 over on household, which isn't too bad, especially because one of the bills was actually from January, 186 of it that I paid in February. Again, some of it was like Amazon stuff, Target, laundry machine cleaner, eczema cream for Ivy, that kind of stuff. Moving on to beauty, we are under budget actually because I haven't gotten my nails done, which you can definitely tell. I am gonna need to go there just to get them to take the gel off because I've done everything I can to get it off and I can't get it off. So this is just a haircut and hair like supplies that I bought from my new hairstylist. Ben didn't get his haircut this month. He's getting it cut next month. So that's why we're so under budget there. Personal spending, we're a little bit over budget because Ben bought his shoes that he had talked about in one of the most previous videos. So technically, so first of all, $50.38 here. Oh, that's what that is from. $50 gift card for Jesse. So that shouldn't be there. So I bought a Lululemon shirt with a gift card and money from my mom. So $50.38, but I had already gotten $50 from my mom. So technically I paid 38 cents for my Lululemon shirt. $129 was the cost of Ben's shoes. And then I bought a photo book for Ivy for her first year of life that I've been wanting to do for a couple months now. So that was $52. We haven't gotten that yet. Doctors, we were under budget. It normally isn't this high, but we were paying for somatic therapy that Ben's therapist like never charged him for, which was annoying. But now we've asked her to like actually charge us every month instead of waiting like 6 months to charge us, which is whatever. I had acupuncture, therapy, women's group. These are all like $25 charges for the most part, besides this $320 charge, which is the somatic therapy, like catching up. It shouldn't be that much anymore moving forward. We're a little bit over on utilities for the first time since living here, and it's because our gas bill was high, and I'm guessing it's because it was cold. It's been cold. Speaking of gas, we only got gas in the car once, and that was $41. Both Ben and I work from home, and we aren't really going anywhere right now because it's cold and it's winter. We're grateful for that. We used to pay a lot for like car and transportation when we both worked in the city. It was like a whole thing. But anyway, Cora and Finn was $125. That was 2 bags of dog food. And then we were very over budget on miscellaneous. One of the things, we bought a gift card for Ben's parents because they took care of our dogs while we were having the water issue. So we gave them a gift card to a pizza place for $50. Ben had to pay $115 for a football thing, which I told you guys about. So like this money up here helped pay for that. Our taxes came out, so that came from my savings, which I showed you up here. And then what's the other thing? Oh, we bought a movie from YouTube. If you watched my what I spend in a week, you would have seen those charges come through. So in total, we spent $5,102.62, which was $1,300 over budget in this section, which is crazy. Like, it's crazy. But again, some of that, like $800, no more, I don't know, a certain amount of that was just like taxes and other stuff that came through that we weren't expecting. These are kind of the problem areas that we need to like watch in the future. Moving on to this section, we spent $196.21 for birthdays and holidays because Ben had bought me a towel warmer for my birthday in January, and he put it on his credit card, and I hadn't budgeted for that in January or February because I bought myself a Nespresso for my birthday, so I didn't think he was buying me anything else. So that was $143, which is crazy how expensive that was, but we have been using it. Valentine's Day, Ben bought me a couple of things for $27.47, and then I did a $25 donation to a music program that my sister is doing something for, so it was $25 donation and then a 75-cent processing fee. We also had our Costco membership come out, which is $120. That only comes out once a year. You can see here the big savings thing. So I put $735 away for my business taxes. So that is, yeah, that's what I put away into my business savings account. I'm just realizing that I think I took too much out of my business savings account, but too late now. So anyway, that's what I put over there. Oh, but part of that would have paid for our taxes. Okay, I'll show you in a minute why I'm confused by that. So I also put $500 in our savings account, which was great and more than anticipated. And if you watched our goals video for the year, we were hoping to put in $300 to $500 a month. So glad we hit that. I had $482.54 to move over, which I did because I could have moved it to savings, but we were able to put a big chunk of money in our savings, which I'll show you in a second. and we have some more money coming for savings. So I actually just wanted to pull this over to our March budget so that, again, the beginning of the month, I'm not having to like move money back and forth until all of my invoices come in, like my invoice payments. So with that, I'll show you what's going on over here. So this is our debt section, which you can see is mostly up to date, probably not up to date based on this month, but I only change it every couple months because it doesn't change that much. So our personal savings, we have almost $13,000, which if you watched one of our recent videos, we were right around 9,000. So the reason that this happened is because we got a tax refund. And if you watched my other videos, you would know that I was not anticipating a tax refund. We were both expecting to pay like $3,000 to $5,000 into taxes, and we're not. So we didn't get the refund yet, but I was able to move my business savings money over to our personal savings from that I had saved for taxes. So this is confusing, but I put money away every month for taxes because I work for myself. Now with Ben's taxes, with the child tax thing, and with like my expenses for my business, I ended up not having to pay in much. I think we'll have to pay into Illinois a little bit, but it'll even out with how much we're getting paid in taxes this year, if that makes sense. I feel like this is confusing because it's confusing me. So the reason I moved the money from my business savings to my personal savings is because I already got taxed on that money. I don't have an LLC or anything like that. So if I make $20,000, I am taxed on $20,000. So there's no reason for me to like leave the money in my business savings account and just like leave it there. I've already been taxed on it, so I might as well either move it to our account as income because it's considered income, or move it to my personal savings. So we moved it to personal savings. So that's where that money came in, plus the $500 that I was able to put in from our March budget based on additional income that came through. So that's really exciting. We're basically close to our savings goal, and I'm hoping that we'll hit that with our tax refund that we should get at some point in March. In March, there's also a possibility of Ben getting a bonus. I'm not sure if his company will do bonuses this year because they had a little bit of a harder year last year. And then possibility of some other things happening. So we'll continue to see what happens there, but that is what our budget looks like for this month. Super exciting that we have hit our personal savings, like got it above, we're just excited to get it above 10,000, but we're getting closer to like our bigger goals now, and hopefully with tax refund coming in, it'll just keep going. But anyway, I'm just rambling and I'm super tired. I need to go make another coffee. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next video.